While you were playing Zenless Zone Zero, I studying the blade. While you were pulling Yanagi and being really excited, I was studying the blade. I am Miyabi.
I am the storm that is approaching.
All right, let's talk about Miyabi. What is Miyabi? Miyabi is supposedly an ice anomaly character. She's lying. Do not believe her lies. Miyabi is an attack frost character. She's lying to you. Big ears are lying. What else are they hiding? They're hiding Miyabi's mechanics. Miyabi is the first ever and only frost character in Zenless Zone Zero. We thought it was a joke. We thought the special symbol meant nothing. No, she's actually, what's better than ice? Ice too! They gave up on ice, I guess. I don't know, man. But yeah, so Miyabi applies a special anomaly attribute called Frost with all of her attacks. Why is this important? Well, you may think it's not. It technically is for synergy with the ice characters. So the way that Miyabi works is she generates stacks for her mechanic. We're gonna call them Frostfall stacks. And we're gonna call her big attack a charged attack or a Frost Moon. So the way that she generates stacks for Frost Moon, or the way she generates Frostfall stacks, is actually pretty simple. She'll start with 3. She will generate 2 every EX. Her EX can be used twice. So EX1, EX2 would be give 2 and 4. 2 and 2, which would be 4. Her ultimate gives her 2 Frostfall. When she applies Frost Burn Break, which is when she applies the Frost Anomaly, Miyabi will generate 1 Frostfall, and when Disorder is triggered, Miyabi will gain 3 Frostfall. Her charge attack, or Frost Moon, requires 6 Frostfall, and it consumes them when used. So why is it important that I mention that this is a distinct anomaly from Ice? Frost can disorder with ice, which is good because Miyabi needs to have disorder in her teams. So by splitting ice and frost, specifically for this single character, they have allowed Miyabi to benefit from any of the ice supports. All of frost damage is technically ice damage and gets buffed by ice. It just applies a special anomaly attribute. There is a dot effect associated with Frostburn, but it's not in any of the text and it may be unused. So we're going to ignore that for now. If you're curious, it's 50% attack scaling every second. And I believe it's crit damage, but we're going to ignore that for now. All of the damage from Frost Shatter is the same as Shatter, so it's all the same as Ice. She just has this special mechanic to be able to benefit from Ice support. The other thing about Miyabi is when an enemy has been ice burn or frost broken or whatever you want to call it, she cannot apply anomaly while that effect is ongoing. So it needs to either be cleared by time or by disorder. So again, you see this disorder focus really come into focus. You see this disorder thing really come into focus and be very important. That is why Miyabi is an anomaly character. Her damage is not anomaly. She is a crit attack character, like attack scaling crit character, but she uses anomaly as a resource for her attacks. And I think that's very cool. This is a very exciting kit to me. This is much more exciting than Bernice 2. I think it's awesome. Like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna try to do more Zenless content. More Genshin content is coming. Did you know most of you watching are not currently subscribed? You should subscribe. Let's also quickly address damage. Miyabi's damage scaling, because she does so few hits, those hits hit very hard. Each Frost Moon level 3 or Charged Attack level 3 is the damage of a Gianol or an Elenol. Actually, it's more than an Elenol. It's 4,000%. Her ultimate is 5,000%, which is the highest ultimate in the game. And there's a bonus whenever she applies Anomaly, it's 2,000% of her attack. Now, seems exciting. Let's talk about gearing. Before we talk about gearing, actually, there's a lot of unknowns about how this works. Because the new drive disk set and her engine currently have no effect. They are unfinished and unimplemented. So we're gonna gloss over those for now. And I'll be updating you guys later because I don't know what they do either. Her engine is a house though, because Miyabi is a little tiny person. She can live inside her house. Talking about gearing, for now, we're gonna say Hormone Punk until we know what the new drive disc set does. We're also gonna mention that I'm fairly certain Miyabi wants Anomaly Mastery on slot 6. You should start to look for Anomaly Mastery slot 6 drives with crit. I'm gonna throw this out there right now because I think it's important. I am almost certain Anomaly Mastery is her best slot 6 because she needs to apply Frost and Disorder. Which 2-piece sets? It could be the crit set, it could be the ice set, it could be even Hormone Punk, it could be Puffer. You would just want to look for it. No matter what set you're farming, you just want to look for it. There's a possibility her engine, which we currently don't know anything about besides it's a crit rate main stat, gives build-up rate, which helps, but again, you're still gonna want Mastery on slot 6. If you're playing against neutral, you may want Freedom Blues as your set as well. We'll see about that. Ideally, you're always gonna be playing into Ice Weakness. What about the Ice set? Her charged attack, despite being activated by her basic attack, is not a basic attack. It's actually a special attack. So no, don't use Polar Metal. None of her damage is basic attack or dash attack. Don't use Polar Metal. Do not do that. It's a bad idea. Bad idea. So why do I say I think she needs Anomaly Mastery on slot 6? Because you need to be able to apply Frost. By using Anomaly Mastery on slot 6 and fighting against Ice Weakness, she gets 60% build-up rate by building crit rate up to 60%. So again, crit character, you're going to want crit rate. Her engine is crit rate main stat, you're going to have crit rate. So we can safely assume that that passive is going to be maxed out. You're going to be getting 60% Anomaly build-up rate at all times, which is good. So if we wanted to look, if we do her special attack, and if we do her chain attack, the Anomaly app from that is 3000 with an Anomaly Mastery main stat and against Ice Weakness. So that's 3096.55, which is essentially the minimum for how much Anomaly you want to apply. So if you don't know how Anomaly build-up works, the values that I'm about to describe, you want them to be over 3000. Anomaly build-up becomes higher and higher the more times you trigger Anomaly. 3000 is against bosses. The minimum for the first proc, the maximum, which would be your 10th proc, is 3200. Oh, sorry, 3500 is the maximum. So those are the numbers that I'm gonna be looking at. So if you apply 3096, you are safe for the first 2 Anomaly procs against a boss. Okay? So this is Ice Weak, so at plus 20% there. Otherwise, you would use Freedom Blues to get the same values. So that's with a level 3 and a chain. If we get rid of the chain, a level 3 and a EX2 would be 2890, which is just short of applying Frost, which may be a good thing and may be a bad thing. And a ultimate is just straight up a guaranteed Frost proc, 3812. All right. So that is why I am currently under the impression that you need to use an Anomaly Mastery slot 6 on this character, because there is no character who can build up Frost besides Miyabi, and her Anomaly app is currently tuned in a way for it to even be slightly low for triggering Frost as soon as you may want to. It may also be advantageous for EX2 plus level 3 to not apply Frost on a 0 build-up target, but it also can very easily be a bad thing. Whew. Cool. All right. As Miyabi, if Miyabi triggers Disorder, you can gain 4 stacks because she gets 1 from triggering Frost Ball, and she gets 3 from the Disorder, which actually brings us to teams. Yeah, we're gonna talk about essentially 3 or 2 major options and something that could be cope and something that's even more cope, okay? So let's start by talking about Yanagi. I was just talking about this. Maybe I'll describe it again so you can cut out the thing from earlier. So I'll do that. Yanagi. We're gonna start with Yanagi. So Yanagi's Polarity Disorder effect can be triggered off Miyabi's Frost, and if you just trigger Polarity Disorder twice, you have a full Miyabi charge. This is a good thing. It also could be a bad thing because you're technically wasting potential Miyabi Frost app. It should end up balancing out and probably be a beneficial thing. Probably. We'll see about that. Yanagi also applies a ton of Anomaly app, which is great for triggering disorders, even without the Polarity Disorder effect. Yanagi is going to be a very solid option. The other thing I want to talk about is Bernice. Bernice. She's lit, you can't deny. Mocktails, mixers, ice. Snacks are real nice. Soda, sour, mixed dry. Okay, Bernice. Yeah, Bernice is going to be great. Bernice applies a ton of fire anomaly. She also builds passive anomaly, so while you're doing things with Miyabi, you can be building up fire to be able to quickly get back to Miyabi. That'll be great. The other thing to talk about with Bernice is a lighter. Lighter is a character releasing in 1.3. We're a bit skeptical about how good his buffs are, but he provides stun state duration increase, which could be really useful for setting up disorders and executing your Miyabi charges. So let's say you're generally only going to be able to do 2 easily. You could be able to do 3 easily with lighter. And if you're able to do 3 min, maybe you can min max for 4 with lighter. I'm gonna throw it out there. We're just gonna throw it out there, okay? Take it or leave it. Do what you want with it. He increases fire and ice damage. He benefits both Bernice and Miyabi. He has the stun duration bonus. His engine gives crit damage, so you can get essentially more crit damage on your Miyabi. Nice. The other thing we want to mention is he may be directly competitive with Caesar. He may even be worse than Caesar. Well, don't know. We'll find out when he releases. Oh, really? We won't. We'll find out when Miyabi releases. But yeah, Lighter's going to be interesting. He still has a lot of unknowns, especially with Miyabi. So yeah, look out for that. And there will definitely be a Lighter video coming closer to his release. Talk about all this stuff more in depth. Let's talk about free-to-play availability and why Frost being able to be disordered with freeze is a good thing. Your free-to-play available option is going to be Sokaku / Lycon, sort of. It also means that they can release ice supports in the future that maybe we'll be able to take advantage of. But yeah, the free-to-play available options might be looking a little bleak. They're going to be Sokaku or Piper. Piper, you guys know how Piper works. We've been talking about Piper forever. We have not talked about Sokaku since 1.0. You may want to build like an Anomaly Mastery Sokaku and play Sokaku DPS to trigger the disorders to set up for Miyabi. I tried to emulate this in game with Yanagi standing in for Miyabi. It might work. It's a little cooked. It's a little overbaked. It's certainly interesting. But yeah, you can also, this is Zenless Zone 0. Miyabi's teams can and most likely will change dramatically depending on what character is in version 1.5. So if you're looking for cope, I can deliver it to you. There very easily could be a better support for Miyabi in version 1.5. Welcome to Zenless Zone 0. But yeah, the other things, because her drive disk and her engine are currently unknown, I can't accurately gauge what her damage output is. That being said, it seems oddly okay. I kind of expected her to be outlandish. She's really not. It's a bit odd. We'll be looking at the changes with great interest, especially because you have to interact with a lot of mechanics to play, maybe. Now I'm feeling motivated. But yeah, we'll find out how this ends up folding out over the course of beta. Stay subscribed. Check in on the stream. I stream most days. If you are curious about Harumasa, I'll actually talk about this right now. The beta is a week late and he's unfinished. He doesn't have animations, he doesn't have effects, he doesn't have, well, no, he has effects. He doesn't have animations, he doesn't have descriptions. He seems like a pretty straightforward crit DPS though. He also has a pretty cool dash attack and a marking passive. He's basically Tartaglia. It's cool. There will be a video on him when he's finished, or in a more finished state. So we're waiting to hear more. T poses menacingly.